Hello, BookTube. Well, I certainly can't lie on this channel, can I? It's not like I can say, mail? Mail? Who gets mail? Never heard of it before. Not if I'm getting the doorbell ring right in the middle of a video. So, I've got mail. It's actually not just any mail, of course. It's the most melancholy mail of all. It's the last mail haul of the week. But it does end in a box. I've noticed a dearth of boxes lately, so I've got a bunch of packages here. Some of them are quite refreshingly heavy. Might get some finished copies here. So let's go through this and see what we have here. Okay, the first one is by Curtis White, and I don't think we saw this on this channel before. This is a November release. This is Living in a World That Can't Be Fixed, Reimagining Counterculture Today. And he calls himself a social critic. Society is currently plagued with varying crises: climate change, immigration rights, mass wealth inequality. In this book, the author tells us to stop fighting against it and instead live outside it. While the current entertainment and media industry continues to foment bipartisan fights, we're left believing progress is just around the corner without taking matters into our own hands. In this book, one of the most enthusiastic and illuminating cultural critics pens an effusive rallying cry for taking up the banner of counterculture and waving it high. Okay. Okay, I don't have any idea what that means. I don't have any idea what that means. Step outside it? I don't have any idea what that means. I guess I'll have to read the book to find out what that means. So this comes out in early November. This is a short thing, so it goes to the front of the list for this mail haul. We'll see if it's dislodged. The box might dislodge it. Let's see. Let's see what we have next here. This is a 2020 book. Okay, this is, I need that. Need your life story. This comes out in March. This is Thin Places, Essays from In Between by Jordan Kistner. It's Jordan Kistner's debut collection of short stories, which comes out in early March of 2020, in which she writes about a number of situations where traditional divisions and dichotomies of everyday life become fuzzy. She writes about borders, thresholds, and transitions. In her beautifully crafted title essay, she ventures into the science of deep brain stimulation, which requires an electrode to be surgically inserted inside the brain as a treatment for OCD, a disorder in which the relationship between one's internal thoughts and the outer world grows perilous. Okay, and then there's just a bunch of other pieces. I'd be willing to bet that these are not, as we've gone over many times before on this channel, I'd be willing to bet these are not actually essays. They're probably just periodical pieces that were done. Yeah, they appeared in the American Scholar, The Believer, N+1, New York Times Magazine. So I guess these nonfiction pieces, maybe I need to update my definition, because I don't think of that as an essay. If it's done on a deadline like that with a word count and you know, subject to revision by other people, maybe I should rework my definition. So let's move on here. We've got cardboard all the way, including one of these adhesive things that is meant to fragment. The inside is adhesive. It is meant to stick to the book at all costs, so you can't tear it apart. And then once you've done that, I guess I can flatten this one. Let's see. Let's just forget about it and see what we have here. Oh no! Oh no! Okay, this comes out as a paperback original in December. This is by Virginia Cantra, and it's called Meg and Joe. It's a contemporary retelling of Little Women. For briefly, when I saw the title, I hoped it would be a contemporary retelling of Meg by Steve Alton, but no, it's a contemporary telling of Little Women. I don't see how that would work. Have you ever wondered what Louisa May Alcott's beloved characters from her timeless classic Little Women might be up to if their story took place today? No, but if the author wins me over, then that'll be fine by me. Virginia Cantra is a New York Times bestselling author of over 30 novels. Good Lord, spanning multiple genres. Now she brings her dynamic storytelling to her first foray into women's fiction. A contemporary take on Little Women told through two of the four March sisters' perspectives. Okay, all right. Early December in paperback, that's a rough row to hoe. Nobody's going to know you're there. Everybody's going to be done. People are all in December, or the first week of December, people are going to be eyeing the roads out of town. They're not going to be thinking about this. But I guess for Little Women fans, especially diehard Little Women fans, this will be indispensable. I'll certainly read it, even though I confess I don't know what so-called women's fiction is. I confess that I don't. Is it just that it's fiction where women are the main characters? So is Anna Karenina women's fiction? Is Madame Bovary women's fiction? I don't know. I honestly don't know. Or if the term is meant to imply instead that the book is somehow written for women, well then I don't understand it even more. So I'll just read it anyway. I'll just read it anyway. I'll just dispense with the whole thing. All right, this next one. Oh, good Lord. I'm going to put this off. The one that I just came to is enormous, and it's stapled closed. It's so big. So we'll do that next. We'll put that off just for one thing here. So that we can tear apart this instead. I don't know what that huge one is going to do. We'll find out together. Oh, okay. So this next one, is the finished copy of something I think we've seen already. This is also, okay, this is a November release. This is Debbie Kenziper's Citizen 865, World War II book. This is the powerful, character-driven story of a search for the men of an obscure SS training camp in Poland who helped the SS to murder 1.7 million Polish Jews. OSI would identify more than a dozen men who were hiding in plain sight in cities and suburbs across America, including Miami, Chicago, and New York. And this author just dives into that story, interviews all the remaining people, interviews everybody who was involved in the investigation. These sorts of things can be so fascinating. And it comes out anytime now, so this is also on the immediate list. And I guess we'll deal with this huge thing. I don't know what this could be. Some well-meaning publicist packed whatever this is into this envelope and then thought, even with the adhesive sealing, this could still pull apart. I better staple it. And that makes me wonder what this is. Could be something really big. Okay, it is something really big. It is something really big in every sense of the word. This comes out in this is older. Okay, this is a June release that somehow missed me in June. This is let's see, it's put together by Ruben Molines Perez and Asier Laramendi, and it's illustrated by Aubrey Atuchin and Sante Mazet, and it is the Princeton University Press. It's their series on dinosaur facts and figures, and this is the theropods. And look, you have the whole crowd of theropods from their very earliest incarnations. We see them marching through the ages all the way down to a bird. And this is lavishly illustrated. Oh my God, there are the bones. And what we know about them, are there visual? Yes, there are visual reconstructions. Look at that. Incredible. Amazing. All right, so this came out in June, and I missed it, but I'm still going to... it has still completely bumped everything else, because I didn't see it then. I didn't see it in June. So I will lovingly pore over this thing before I get to anything else that we've seen so far. But even this could be bumped by the last thing, which is the box. So let's see. Boxes often are wonderful things for Steve. Let's see what this one is. Although I find it hard to believe that anything could beat the theropods. So let's see. It's a finished copy of something. Oh, great. Okay, great. It does not beat the theropods, but it is another World War II book. And it's something we've seen before. This is the finished copy, which comes out in late November. This is David Stahel's Retreat from Moscow. The finished copy of his book about Germany's winter campaign, 1941 and 1942, in which he offers a revisionist view, if I remember correctly, right? The recent received wisdom about this period, which saw the German forces cede ground that they had achieved through the fall of 1941, is that it constituted Germany's first defeat and was a key turning point in the war. As the author convincingly demonstrates in this book, however, the reality was more complicated. While it's true that this period saw Germany in retreat, and the winter certainly took its toll on the German soldiers in command, they ultimately surrendered less than 10% of the ground they had gained in the previous 6 months, and suffered far fewer casualties than the Soviet forces. The author estimates that Soviet losses during this period were more than 6 times those of the Germans. Stahel argues that Germany's overextension and their failure to deliver a knockout blow during the previous summer and fall constituted a real setback, and the retreat of the winter was in some ways a strategic correction. And that summary is absolutely true. That does fly in the face of the received summary of these events, and I kind of like that received summary, but I don't mind at all. I will dig into this. This is late November, I believe. I am reviewing this for somebody. I'm not quite sure. I don't quite remember who, but either way, even if I'm not, I'll review it for Open Letters. That's great. That's fantastic. Okay, and I haven't got to it. I have the advanced copy. I haven't got to it. So there you go. That is the last mail haul of the week. Lots and lots of variety. Everything is sort of in the shadow of the mighty theropods, I must admit. But what are you going to do? So we have the theropods. We have World War II history, Retreat from Moscow. We have a little more World War II history in Citizen 865. It's World War II history and also the aftermath. We have Meg and Joe, a December trade paperback original of a retelling of Little Women. We have, let's see here, Living in a World That Can't Be Fixed, a call for a new kind of activism, and Thin Places, Essays from In Between by Jordan Kisner. Kind of a pretty thing that comes out next year. So there you go. That is the last mail haul of the week, and you can tell that it's a Steve mail haul because it's got World War II and dinosaurs. You can also tell that it's a Steve mail haul because the Holy Nimbus of Light is seeking me out. The Holy Nimbus of Light was gone. It wasn't hanging around for a while, and then it was off somewhere and realized, hey, it sounds like that Steve guy's making videos. I'd better go in and blot him off the camera. So we're lucky that we're finishing when we are. So I'll wrap this up for now, but I'll be back. Thank you, BookTube.